had an idea, a fishing theory idea. Some of the ponds that I fish have a lot of crappie in them that are bigger than this. This is small. And probably end up being a prime source of food for the big bass in those ponds. Probably the source of food. Those crappie, they can get out of hand, you know? So why not give them the most ideal meal possible? Not too big, not too small. I'm not doing the fins. This is gonna be more of a deep diving crappie. I picked a crappie where the tail kind of slouches a bit. Some of that. Lip's gonna come off at like that with a lip insert. I'm not gonna cut the slot. This is gonna be fancy. We're going all out. Let's put all we got into this one. Whoa, that was a pretty big mistake right there. Holy smokes. I don't think I've ever done that before. I was relying so heavily on my thumb to push that blade through. Something buckled. I'm getting the old man thumb. This thing right here, it has pushed a lot of utility blades through wood. Put a little dab of baking soda in there, drop of the magical super glue. Problem solved. And you know what? I take back the deep diving thing. I'm wanting something a bit more subtle. Slower action, glide. Don't want to make a two-piece glider. Next best thing, a TailFin glider. A TailFin glider. I want this to be having issues. It's got the size. No fish in the pond will be able to miss it. They'll all know it's there. They're all just waiting for Big Mama to come out. That's her meal. Yeah, man. Really slow sink versions of these baits are freaking sweet. You can just have them sit there and they don't move in threatening ways. It's just a slow glide. Things will follow these baits just like they do two-piece gliders. I need to make more of these this year and catch fish on big baits. I'm just being ambitious because it's winter. I need to calm down. TailFin. Weight belongs all along the belly of this thing. 3/8 inch holes, maybe a 1/2 inch I can fit in there. I'd say that's doable. Able to fit a huge 1/2 inch hole right in the right in the, I don't know, good spot on the belly. Rest are gonna be 3/8 and 1/4. That bit was barely in there. I sent that last hole pretty deep. It's like up here, just to get some more weight back there. This will have a great action, I think. I've been getting the 5-minute epoxy back out lately. People change, you know? Scuffed up the lip a little bit, applying glue, stuffing it in. And it's not a lip, it's a tail fin. That's pretty straight. It's good stuff. Once that dries, I'm gonna put a pen through that too. We got a pilot hole leak. I just shot a ton of medium thick black super glue into a lead hole. I made that sound like a big deal, but it's not. And these have horizontal line ties. Well, I've never tried one without a horizontal line tie. What is that? What happened? There's a crack in this Lexan. My accelerator destroys Lexan polycarbonate. Look at that. It was doing it on the other side too. My poor TailFin glider. Well, I'm gonna sand this so it looks better. It's just gonna be more narrow right here. Now it's a cool, interesting shape. I like that better. All right, let's get this big, beautiful thing sealed. The lead is molten. We're gonna fill up these holes with absolutely no reservation. We're gonna fill every hole up to the top. Dang it, my lure's too big for this. Do I have a bigger bowl? Okay. Less than a 1/2 inch of wood exposed on the top still. The hooks should bring this down. Now it's sinking. I just have to be able to see how it's sinking. I don't have a lot of room to see that here. This bowl's pretty small. It is just ever so slightly sinking nose first. The sink rate's already slow. So out of that hole up front, I'm gonna take out like a 1/16 of an ounce of lead. And it's gone. I kind of drilled out on that side, away from that void. I don't know if it's necessary, but I balance that stuff out when I see it. So this should sink extremely slow now. Yeah. That's a slow sink. This will be perfect. Sorry you can't really see. I need to get a better setup. Someday we will be cool enough to have cool testing setup. Someday. Got that tail fin taped off. I'm about to start with white. Man, you put a tiny bit of white on it and you see every single imperfection. Really quick. Aqua. I'm gonna go aqua to chartreuse. You can do like blue to yellow, blue to gold. You can get some purples and crappies. I like to do pinks and flesh tones. A hug. Chip wanted a hug. Good boy. Ouch. You just kind of nibbled me, you turd. Let's get some colors going. Chip, you're not wearing a respirator. Neither am I. See, that might just look like blue right now, but that transitions way better into chartreuse than just normal blue does. I guess that's subjective though. You can like what you like. That is bright. Wow. And we're gonna tame that down with a little bit of pearl platinum. Did a weird dark spot on the belly. I want this to be a black crappie. It definitely has the color. I'm gonna clear coat this and then fill it up with detail. That gives it a lot of opportunity to look good. Opportunity. Never mind, I decided to do a quick lateral line. That's not me just shaky because I'm malnourished or something. I was doing that on purpose. Just realized this makes me look like I have a problem. I am just in love with that clear coat. Wow. silver sparkle flakes, very small, a little bit of violet highlight. I'm still gonna need my carving though, so I'm not putting very much on. With the highlight, you see it more over darker colors than lighter colors. It's like the ability to add color detail where usually you can't. Can be a useful way of thinking about it. Wow, I wasn't even in frame. You can just leave your top black and then select your color with your highlight. Applying masking fluid can be pretty crazy. It gets so sticky and it just has so many issues with itself. Going back over where you already put it can be a nightmare. Pretty stinking tall bait. Needs a lot of window screen. I think I'm just really used to window screen. That's why I use it so much. I have other stencils. I was gonna use that, then I opted against it because I never feel like I can get full laydown, full contact of a flat stencil. It needs to be flexible like this. But maybe I'm just not good at it, and other people are. I see other people using stencils like these to wonderful success. I'm probably just not good at it. That's the first clear coat, after the first clear coat, by the way. There are plenty of imperfections in it, as you can see, because I made it so thin, but I don't care. That doesn't end up looking that bad on the second layer of paint, and then you clear coat back over that, and it looks like you can't even tell. There's a crappie I did a while ago. What did I do there? I did silver scales on the belly to contrast with the white. I have some pink down there on the belly too. That'll look good. It's already platinum, so I should do just silver and then pearl white. I can do that. If I wanted to match that, that's what I would do. Do I want to do that? Gently. That's always nerve-wracking. I just imagine clamps popping off and paint jobs getting ruined. Lots of scales to reveal right here. Big bait. This better look good. I'm seeing some good silver. See that silver? Okay, it's plain. There is work to do. There are a ton of black marks to paint on this body. Oh, and I get to peel its face off. One sec. Boy, that's nasty. It just reminds me of a really long burger. Good thing that's not focused. That'd be grossing you guys out. Okay, let's get artistic. There's a lot of yellow, splotchy, between the black marks. The black marks have to go on first. There's no purple in that paint scheme, although I want to put the dark areas on now. And I don't want to do that with black, but magenta, it's close to black. There's a big dark spot right there. That was not a mistake. Okay, it might look like I just did a lot of purposeful stuff right there. I made the spots dark where I wanted it dark, but everywhere else I just kind of splatted. Didn't matter. That's just getting it ready for the stuff that does matter on top of that. There's some more, I guess, main colors on these gills that I want to get on with an airbrush. Yellow is one of them. There's a lot of weird random patterns that I made with the airbrush and that magenta, and you just kind of spray between the patterns. This is a reduced 1:1 pearl white with the brush. I'm really trying to get rid of some of the darker lines on this side because the other side's lighter and I like the other side more. So I'm kind of pushing the parameters where I'm putting this pearl white, trying to make those dark lines smaller. That's looking like a crappie though, all that stuff. That'll be great detail. Man, I seriously have a long day of painting ahead of me. That's pretty special. That is a lot of brush in the hand and wiggling it around in very strategic spots. My brain hurts. Because for every second that that black brush was connected to the body of this bait, it was there purposely. And it was covering a specific little scale, going off of tiny little patterns everywhere. Even in the face. I know that face, it's like a pixelated crappie face, but I like it. That's cool. That looks really contrasty in person. Anyway, I'm picking out the eyes. They're kind of brown, but look at, that's kind of brown, and that's angled down. I think if it was looking straight at me, it'd look like that, reflecting some light, you know. These eyes have a left and a right side. The pupil's oriented that way. I'm applying a lot of glue because I want that hole in the eye to be airtight so that that air does not come bubbling through the clear coat. That already looks good. Oh, come on. And these eyes are as beautiful as they are because they're Dead Meat Customs. All of that magenta and yellowish flesh tone that I didn't want on the bait while I was painting it the entire time kind of makes sense now, and I'm glad that it's still there. I have a lot of flesh tones in the face up here and in the gills and stuff. Wow. I'm not going to paint a fin. Crappies have extremely translucent yellow fins. I just don't want to paint it anymore. It looks so good, if I'm being honest. The final thing not to mess up, clear coat. A little bit of silver flake, turquoise highlight. I like to mix up the highlight colors between the paint layers. This is bonkers, bro. That's a spiffy looking bait. Holy smokes. Let's get the rotisserie going. It's loud, sorry. It's only loud when it's cold. Kind of like my wife. Just kidding. Chelsea's super tough and never complains. Wow, that looks unbelievable in the sunlight. Dude, it's a freaking dart. What the heck? This is like a missile. You give it a twitch and it shoots in that direction for like 10 feet. That's an exaggeration. I think that's really cool. How you can cast it out and if there's current moving one way, it just faces it really quick. And you give it a yank and it just does something super sporadic. Like it's fleeing, you know? And it sinks super slow, so it's kind of a good river bait. I like it. Uh-oh. Whew. It's a cold beach. I hope none of this ice breaks. Set you up just in case anything cool happens. The only thing cool that could happen is if I caught a fish. It might happen with this little dart. So, did we learn anything? Very tall profile and thin TailFin gliders, they don't do a lot of churning. It's harder to get them to churn with a twitch, but they actually move and glide and continue gliding after that twitch way further. It was fun fishing with that. It was erratic, it was sporadic. I didn't know when I twitched it which direction it was gonna go, but when it went, it just goes, and really far. Thank goodness that heater shut off. We're gonna have to take this to some pretty predator-infested waters. In the kayak, possibly a boat. That's a wooden one. If I lose it, I'll have never caught a fish on it, so I'll be careful with it. I think I post every Sunday now. Sunday mornings. If I don't, there's a problem. I don't care, even if I have to do a stupid Q&A or something the night before. Speaking of that, on to the next bait. That. Whoa, something buckled.
Uh-oh.
And it's gone. Do I have a bigger bowl?
What the heck?
My brain hurts.